All right, have you ever looked at two businesses, maybe right next to each other, and wondered why one is absolutely crushing it while the other just isn't? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a super powerful business strategy that's usually hidden in plain sight. And we're going to do it by looking at the whiskey market in Kampala, of all places. I want you to picture the last time you were in a store. You see all those shelves, right? Just packed with stuff. But what if I told you the real secret to making a ton of money isn't just filling those shelves, but knowing exactly which products to put on them? Yeah, there's a hidden logic to it, a secret sauce, and we are about to figure it out together. So here's where a story kicks off. We've got a business, and they're doing pretty well, right? But here's the kicker. They are unknowingly leaving an absolute fortune on the table. And that, my friends, is what we're calling the billion-shilling question. Okay, so when you look at the data, one thing just jumps out. Whiskey isn't just another drink in Kampala. It's a dominant force, a real juggernaut. It's pulling in huge amounts of money from a ton of sales. So right off the bat, the message is crystal clear. If you're not in the whiskey game, you are missing out on a massive, ready-made pile of cash.
But wait, this is where it gets really interesting, because it's not as simple as just throwing some whiskey on the shelf. That's not enough. The data points to a much deeper secret. It's not about selling more, it's about selling smarter. It's about really getting into the weeds of what people are buying, and more importantly, why.
And get this. This is the incredible story the data is screaming at us. You've got single malt Scotch whiskeys, and they don't actually sell that many bottles, volume-wise. But, and you gotta hear this, they pull in over half of the entire market's revenue. Let that sink in for a second. Fewer bottles sold, but more than half the cash. Now that is the puzzle we need to crack. And that puzzle, it leads us straight to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's all about the massive difference between volume and value. Once you get this, you hold the key to unlocking pretty much any market's potential.
So think of the market as being pushed by two totally different engines. On one side, you've got your volume driver. That's blended Scotch. These are the popular, easy-to-grab whiskeys that sell like crazy and get people in the door. Then on the other side, you've got the value king, single malt Scotch. You don't sell nearly as many, but boy do they command a premium price. They bring in the big bucks, the serious profit. And here's the secret. You absolutely need both to win.
And this shows you exactly why having a balanced lineup is everything. It's like building a sports team. You need your workhorses, the blended Scotches like Johnny Walker, to bring in the crowds. You need your all-around superstars like Jameson that score on both sales and revenue. And you 100% need your high-margin players, the single malts like Glenfiddich, to really rack up the points on the profit scoreboard. Even a niche player like bourbon has a role, making sure you don't miss any part of the game. It's all about covering your bases.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? Makes sense. But how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. We're going to build the perfect, data-driven, all-star shelf right now. First up, you got to have the absolute powerhouse of the market. I mean, if you could only pick one brand to build your entire strategy around, the data is just screaming one name, Jameson Irish Whiskey. It is truly in a league of its own. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The analysis itself is crystal clear. It literally calls Jameson the undisputed star brand. This one bottle is responsible for the vast majority of revenue in its entire category. It's not even a question. It's a must-have, a total non-negotiable. Okay, next on our team sheet, we need that volume leader. You know, the crowd pleaser. The brand that gets people to show up in the first place. The one everybody knows. And in this market, that's Johnny Walker, hands down.
So, a volume driver is basically the foundation of your sales. It's the product that, just because it's so popular and easy to get, keeps the cash register ringing. A bottle like Johnny Walker Red Label, that's the perfect example. It's the engine that just keeps chugging along day in and day out.
And now it's time for the profit engine. This is where we bring in our value kings. You go to that high-margin single malt category, and the data shows two names standing head and shoulders above the rest, Glenfiddich and Glenlivet. And let's just circle back to that staggering number, because it's worth repeating. These premium brands are so dang valuable that the category they lead, single malts, generates more than 50% of the entire market's revenue. So stocking them isn't just a smart move, it's the absolute core of a high-profit strategy.
So there you have it. That's your starting lineup for success. You've got your all-star powerhouse in Jameson, your reliable volume driver in Johnny Walker, and your big money value kings, Glenfiddich and Glenlivet. That's it. This simple, four-brand team is a proven, data-backed recipe for winning the game.
So, let's take a step back. What's the big lesson here? Because this was never just about which whiskeys to sell in one city. No, what we've really just done is uncover a universal blueprint for success in any market.
And we can break that blueprint down into 4 easy-to-follow steps. Step 1, find the dominant category, the one pulling in all the money. Step 2, dig into that category and figure out what's driving volume versus what's driving value. Step 3, pinpoint the all-star brands that are leading the charge in each of those roles. And finally, step 4, you use all that knowledge to build yourself a balanced, super strategic portfolio. Boom.
And here's the most important takeaway of all. This whole framework, it's not just for whiskey. You could apply this to almost anything. We're talking coffee, makeup, electronics, you name it. It's basically a masterclass in using data to see past the surface level and find where the real profit is hiding.
So, that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If you start looking at your own world through this lens of volume versus value, what massive, game-changing opportunity, what billion-shilling question is hiding right there in plain sight, just waiting for you to find it?